My name is Brittany, and I'm an academic life coach. And the number one question that I get is, what is coaching anyway? What is it that you do? And I'm hopeful that in our conversation today, I can give you a little bit more clarity and bust some of the assumptions around coaching. I found it most useful to use a metaphor in explaining what coaching is. And as many of you know, I am an avid traveler. So it's only fitting that I use the metaphor of a road trip. And when we partner together, we are on this journey together in the same vehicle. As your coach, I'm in the passenger seat. Might have a map. I might have a GPS to offer you. I might know that there's a gas station at the next exit to fill up your tank. But ultimately, as the client, you are in the driver's seat. You get to make all the decisions about this journey. You get to decide what vehicle we're in. You get to decide where we're going to go, how fast or slow we get there, the route that we take to get there. You get to decide if we stop at the next exit for gas or if we keep pushing to see how far we can go. You are in the driver's seat. Now, the second question that I get is, my parents want me to do this, or my employer enrolled me in your program. So, where do they fit in this journey? Really, they are in the vehicle too. I'm not going to deny it. They absolutely are part of this partnership, this journey together. They have a voice, they have influence for sure, but they are in the back seat. We acknowledge that they're with us. We know that they have their own goals for you, and they're very invested in your success. What I also know is that when you are in the driver's seat and the focus is on you and what you want to accomplish as the client, that you experience quick wins and notice changes within yourself, those goals that your parents or your employer have for you often get met too. Because when one area of your life improves, the others tend to follow. So, coaching really is this partnership that enables you as the client to trust your own instincts and solve your own problems. In reality, my ultimate goal is to work myself out of having a business. I don't want to create a relationship where you are dependent upon me to give advice, to give answers, to offer solutions, to offer my opinion. My goal is to help develop that fix it instinct within you so that you can solve your own problems, so that you can give yourself advice, so that you can find your own solutions. That's really what we're after. Now, with this in mind, I do think it's also really important to touch on how coaching is different from a few other service professions. So let's start with mentorship. A mentor is someone who has wisdom or guidance to pass down. They're putting themselves in an expert role in something. As your coach, certainly I am an expert coach and I am an expert at the coaching process. I do, in fact, train other people to become coaches, but I'm not an expert on you. That's where this is different than mentorship. I see you as the expert on yourself. You are the expert on your journey. You are the expert on your life, your past experience. You are the expert on where you want to go. So, as I mentioned in the metaphor earlier, I have maps and a GPS and knowledge of what's coming, but you are in the driver's seat. Now, when we look at coaching compared to consulting, this is similar in that the consultant has an expertise in a particular area and they will tell you what you need to do. And when you think of someone who consults within an organization or within a company specifically, they might have conversations with key stakeholders, they might observe meetings or events, they might implement several assessments, and in the end, they will typically have a report of some sort that spells out, here's your areas of strength, here's your areas of growth, and here's exactly what you need to do to fill that gap. As your coach, I will never tell you what to do. You ultimately decide what action you will take. This goes back to you being the expert on yourself. As my client, you will get to know yourself well enough and develop a clear vision of the life that you want to live so that the actions you need to take to make that happen will be illuminated along the way. You will know which actions will be fruitful for you, which actions you're most likely to commit to, which actions you're most likely to follow through on. I can't tell you what to do. Remember, you're the expert on yourself. Now, another distinction that is especially important for students who work with me is around teaching and tutoring. Again, this is an expert role. Your teachers or your tutors have knowledge that they will pass on to you. Whereas with coaching, it's really kind of a role reversal, actually. Since you are the expert on yourself, I get to be super curious about what life is like through your eyes. You get to teach me about what it's like to be you so that we can partner towards creating the life that you want to live. Now, the last distinction that I think is arguably the most important is the one between coaching and therapy or counseling. It is one that often gets confused. Now, a therapist or a counselor often looks to the past to explain things, to resolve situations from the past. As your coach, we are really going to be focused on where you are now, where you want to be in the future, and how we connect those two. So I don't believe that there's anything to be fixed about you. There is no brokenness about you. You have all the resources and the ability you need to bring your dreams to reality. My job is to come in with the broom and my duster and all my supplies to clear out that dirt and the cobwebs so that you can find that within yourself. It's not hidden anymore. So going back to the metaphor of a road trip, if you are on the side of the road and let's say that your transmission has gone out, you don't know anything about transmissions, let alone how to fix them. So you call a tow truck to take you to the service station for someone else to fix the transmission. This is a time when a therapist or a counselor would be helpful. Now, let's rewind to the side of the road again and instead say that you have a flat tire. You have the spare tire, you have all the tools necessary to change the tire, and you also know how to change a flat tire. You just would like to have an extra set of hands to lift that tire off and get that spare tire on, or maybe to wave traffic out of the way so that you're safe. That's when it can be really, really useful to partner with me as your coach. Now, that doesn't mean that it has to be one or the other. I absolutely have worked with clients who are also seeing a therapist or also working with a mentor or a consultant or obviously teachers, tutors. All this means is that if you are working with multiple professionals, we will have a really rich conversation up front about what your goals are with coaching specifically and how that relates to the support you're getting elsewhere. It might mean that you and I work together in one area of your life, you work with your therapist on another area of your life, you work with your mentor in another area of your life. That's one way of doing it. It could also mean that we're all supporting you in the same area of your life, but we're approaching it from a different angle or a different perspective. There's lots of different ways that we can collectively support you in accomplishing the intentions that you set out for yourself. So if you're interested in starting that conversation, jump on over to lifelivedbydesign.com, click on that services tab, and get in my schedule for a complimentary design session. I don't charge for that, and there's absolutely no commitment afterwards, but it's really an opportunity for us to see if we are a good fit for one another, and if what I offer is what you're looking for, and if what you're looking for is something that I can help you with. I hope this is giving you some clarity around what coaching is, how it's different from other service professions, and most importantly, I hope that you make it an absolutely amazing day.